Hi everybody and welcome back to another card making video. I'm making a simple and easy card where I make a galaxy background using a stencil. Let's jump right into it. Spreek je Nederlands? Er is ondertiteling beschikbaar. The images that I use are from the little agenda spaceship set for mamaelephant. I stamped them out with lawnfawn jet black ink using my MISTI so I can stamp them multiple times if needed. Now it's time for coloring. I use my Copic markers for this and you can see the color number on the left of my paper so you know which color number I use. If you want to skip watching me color, you can skip to the time that pop-ups on the screen now. You can also find a clickable time link in the description. After I'm done coloring, I like to go over the inner lines with a black fine liner to bring back some details. This is totally optional, but for me it makes a difference. To finish up the images, I'm adding highlights with a white gel pen. I die cut the images off screen. I cut the biggest die out of the stitched scallop square frames from lawnfawn 2 times, one time out of watercolor paper and one time out of black cardstock. I'm using the black frame and the white square. To blend my background, I use the messy desk stencil from heffydoodle. I check with my sentiment if the orientation of the splatter is correct. Then I use some glue tape roller to stick the square to my glass work surface so that I don't have to worry about moving it when I ink blend. After that, I tape down my stencil and close off any openings from other pieces of the stencil so that I don't mess up with blending. I love using blending brushes with stencils because it gives me a little more control and it doesn't add too much ink at once. I use distress oxide and I start with the color Peacock Feathers. I just add some random spots of color before I move on to the next. My next color is Wilted Violet. Again, I randomly apply it. Next, I'm adding Pink Raspberry. Now I'm going back and forth with the colors to blend them together. It doesn't have to be a perfect blend. To finish the blending off, I'm adding a little bit of chipped sapphire. Not too much because I don't want to get it too dark. I have a spray bottle with water where I dissolved a little bit of water-based metallic silver paint in. I shake it really well and spray some on, holding the stencil down so it doesn't get under the stencil too much. I dab the excess off with a paper towel. With the stencil still on, I'm splattering some gold watercolor with a small brush. When that's done, I mix a little white acrylic paint with water to splatter that on as well. After I'm done, I carefully remove the stencil and remove the square from the glass and let it dry. When my background is dry, I brush on some baby powder to make it anti-static. I lay the square into my MISTI and line up the sentiment. I stamp it 2 times with clear embossing ink. Now I sprinkle on some white embossing powder. I set the powder with a preheated heat gun by heating the front and back. The paper warps a little, but heating it from both sides will help decrease the amount of warping. Time to assemble the card. I already made a colored square card base that will leave a little border around the frame. I adhere the frame to the card base with liquid glue. I used my ATG gun to add some glue tape to the back of the square and pop that right into the opening. I adhere the little kitty inside of the UFO. The die cuts the slit for that, which makes it super easy to do. I lay down my images to check where I want them, and then I adhere them with thin foam tape to give them some depth. The top left corner feels a little bit empty, so I decide to add some black Nouveau drops. To balance it out, I also add a drop in the right bottom corner. Now, with only some drying time left, my card is done. I love how the galaxy looks like it's splattered on the card because of the stencil I used. I have different space themed sets in my stash, so using one of them in a slightly other way than blending a regular sized galaxy background again is super fun. I hope I inspired you with my video and that you feel inspired to get crafty as well. If so, please consider leaving a thumbs up, subscribing to my channel and ringing the bell to receive a notification when a new video is up. Thanks for watching, see you next time, bye!